Hey, welcome to another How to Get the Most Out of MinHub tutorial. My name is Kurt Libby. I'm a pastor and the creator of MinHub apps, and everything part of MinHub is built to help you keep track of all the pieces of ministry so you can minister well. Today, we're talking about moving from jotting things down on post-its and the backs of envelopes to a central place to track all kinds of things in your ministry so you don't have to wonder anymore. This is checklists, and it's super powerful. So when we're through with this tutorial, you will be able to customize all kinds of ministry tracking, and you'll understand the checklist tool, when to use it, how to use it, and most of all, how to get the right messages to the right people at the right time. Just as an example, real quick here, you can see the things that we're checking off here, and you can tap on somebody and see, yep, they've actually turned everything in. You probably know that there are 4 ministry apps for MinHub: kids, youth, college, and groups. And sometimes there are nuances between the different apps, but checklists work the same in all 4 apps. If you learn how to do it one app, you will be set for all 4 ministry apps. Okay, so checklists live inside of the groups tab. So I'm going to show you in here. This is my personal groups. You can create personal groups and shared groups. This also works in the groups app for subgroups or for your small groups. And you can create checklists for any of these groups. But what you got to do first is create a group. It also works with smart groups, so when you use the filters to pull people in, or if you just do some managed ones. So I'm going to pick this one down here at the bottom. It's called Wants to Go to Camp. And this group down here is a group that we, if we have something like this, like trying to gauge interest, we'll do a managed group and then just kind of add people in as we talk to them. So these are kids that are interested in going to camp. And so I've got my staff leader in here, Mr. Rogers, and he is responsible for this group. And then all of these kids that have expressed interest. So up here on the top, you'll see a little check mark next to the messaging options in the reports. So that if you tap on the checkbox, this is where you go to create checklists. So because these kids are interested in going to camp, I'm going to put things down like they need to fill out an application. They're going to need to do a deposit. They're going to need to do fundraisers probably. We'll find out. I'll put a check mark in there or a question mark. I need to know if they need a ride to camp. They definitely need a waiver. So as you see, you just tap the plus button and make the thing that you want to check, all the different things that you want to check off. You can add more later and you can remove them as well. So once you create that, you get this cool little checklist spot where along the top, it shows you how far along each one of these things has progressed, so that you can find out how many people are left that aren't checked off, those types of things. So then you can process these in 2 different ways. So sometimes, let's say April Nardini has come to me and she's got a few different things. So I could tap on April and I can check off, okay, so she's got her application and her waiver and her ride to camp, and she's going to need fundraisers, but she has not done her deposit yet. So I can do it like that, where then you start to see these things will start to move forward once these things get checked off. But the other thing that can happen is, let's say at your youth group event or whatever, you collect a bunch of waivers. You could actually just tap on waiver and just go through and be like, okay, I got waivers from these kids, and then now that goes into there. So then if I tap on Kevin, you can see that the waiver's already checked off. So that's kind of how you do the checklist. There's one of the 2 ways, either all of the things that you're checking off or with one of the people. Then the really powerful part is the filters. So this little funnel here will help you filter down to see what still needs to be turned in and who would be in each of those categories. So here you can select either that it has not been checked off or that it has been checked off. That's what these 2 columns are. So I want to see all of the kids that don't have any waivers in yet, but they actually no waiver and no application. Let's just do that. So I'm going to hit filter, and that instantly gives me all the kids that don't have a waiver and don't have an application. Now, the next thing that I can do is using these 2 buttons up here, is I can text all the group members or just the currently filtered students. So I could tap on currently filtered students, and then that's going to allow me to just message them and say, hey, don't forget to bring your application and your waiver tonight. Or if they're on Portal, then we can send messages to them, or we can send messages to their parents as well. So, or to them and their parents. So that's if you've got Portal. So real quick, I just wanted to make sure that you understand. So Portal is only available for people that have, for ministries that have a MinHub Sync subscription with the Portal add-on. But just to make sure that you understand that if you're using MinHub for free on your one device, you probably don't have other staff connected to MinHub yet. If you want to start connecting more devices so you can equip and empower your volunteer leaders and other staff, you can check that out at minhubsync.com. You get a 30-day free trial, and you can either get just MinHub Sync or MinHub Sync and Portal. And there's more information there about Portal, but it allows you to send messages and announcements to your parishioners, to your congregation, to your students, your parents, small group members, anybody like that. And so anyway, there's more information over there if you want more information about MinHub Sync and Portal. Okay, the one other thing that I wanted to show you how to do is the report button right here allows you to export reports. So this is like a CSV, which is like a Google sheet or something like that, where you can actually go through this red sheet and kind of mark things off. So if this is really helpful if you want to, you could grab all these kids and be like, I want the first name, the last name, and I want their email and their phone number and their parent name and their parent phone, and then sort it by first name, ascending, and then I can go share that CSV file out, and then I can have somebody else go through that list and contact them and keep track of that if that is helpful. The nice thing is that if they also have MinHub Sync and they've got an account, then they can actually, and this is a shared group, then they can get in and they could actually go in and check this stuff off for you as well. So that after they contact them, they can find out what's going on, jump in here and check those things off as well. So I'm going to clear those filters out and hit back. Oops. I'm going to clear the filters out, and then I got to hit filter, clear filter. There we go. So now we're back to our main list. You can also view them in the standard format or in the grid format. That's pretty much it for checklists. They're super powerful. There's all kinds of things you can check off. One of the best things that I've seen is people will create a group for visitors. So people that have, there's none in here right now because this is a demo account. I don't have any recent events, but if you make a group, so visitor youth group during events, youth group events during 2022. So visitors, you can make like they're people that will only come once or twice. You can set what that number is, and then you can create a checklist that's like add them on Facebook, reach out to them on Snapchat, whatever the thing is that your ministry does to try to connect to kids outside of ministry. And then you can see if that has been done. And so it's a really powerful way to, and then every time a new visitor comes in, they get added to the checklist. And then once somebody moves out of visitor and moves into a casual or regular attender, they'll move out of the group. But the checklist will have that information for you for all the kids that are in that group. So anyway, there's super powerful ways that you can use it. It's really anything that you would want to jot down and then be able to get that information in a really quick way in the future. I just encourage you to try out checklists. It's really powerful, and it totally changed everything for me in ministry, from all the scraps of paper on my desk or shoved in my Bible and the backs of envelopes, and now able to just really find everything right where I need it when I need it. So hopefully that's helpful for you guys. Again, the goal here is to help you keep track of all the pieces of ministry so you can minister well. I've tried to make this flexible enough so that you can track anything in the checklists, that there isn't just like one way that checklists can be used, but you could do really track anything. And I hope that it helps you in your ministry. If you need help with any of this, please reach out at support@minhubapp.com. You can find this and more help articles at howto.minhubapp.com. And if you have any ideas on how we can improve the checklists, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear how it's working for you and how we can improve it in the months and years to come. That's it for today. All right, see ya.